what's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It is Kush back at it again with the second video of the season, predicting the predicting how the NFL week is gonna go. Winners, my projections that I personally think is gonna happen. But first, we need to go over the projections from last week. And I did okay. There was definitely a couple of upsets, but if we go through it, of course, I got Chiefs at Texans. I got Bills. I got Texans at Chiefs. I got the Jets at Bills. I did not get Colts at Jaguars. I did get Patriots. I got the Ravens. I got the Chargers. I got the Titans. I got the Raiders. I did get the Steelers in my preview video. If you go and watch that video, at the end, I did say the Steelers were going to win. I did get the Seahawks. Did not get the Washington football team winning. I got the Bears. No, I did not actually. The Bears came back and won that. I don't know why I said that. I did not get the Vikings. I did not get the Cardinals. I did get the Saints, and I did get the Rams. So that's what, 11 of 16 matchups, I think. Yeah, I think that's 11 of 16 matchups. Not too bad. Definitely the upsets came in and really kind of upset my bracket. Most importantly, Washington winning, Chicago winning. Packers wasn't an upset, but I don't know, I just did not have them winning. Cardinals was an upset, and of course Jaguars was an upset. That being said, let's get right into week 2. So if I go to week 2 here, let me make sure that the recording is still set good. Yep, that's right. Of course, I have the camera in the center now to try and take up a little bit of that ad space that they have going there. Maybe if I carry this up a little, and it takes it up completely. So that's how it's gonna go. Bet. So let's start right off. We got Bengals at Browns. Definitely an interesting matchup here. Rookie Joe Burrow, he looked okay in his first week. Definitely good considering the fact that he had no preseason. No teams had preseason and whatnot. The Bengals almost won that game against the Chargers. I did not get to look at the game. Of course, I caught the highlights. They looked okay. They looked okay. They're going up against the Browns teams that almost definitely got mollywopped last week against the Ravens. The Ravens came out and just straight up curb stomped the Browns. The Browns, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And for that reason, I want to say the Bengals are going to take this one. But it's like the Browns, they are just a better team than the Bengals. But I mean, damn, the showing they had against the Ravens, man. And considering the Ravens are one of the best teams, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the Bengals take this win. I feel like the Browns are just in a really bad spot right now. And according to this is on Thursday Night Football, so this is tomorrow. So we'll see this tomorrow and see what happens. Bills at Dolphins. I'm going to go to Bills. Bills had a strong showing. I think they are the second best team in the AFC East. I'm still giving that best moniker to the Patriots until I see the Patriots fall. And I do think the Bills are just better than the Dolphins. Broncos at Steelers. I'm going to go with Steelers. Of course, the Steelers had an amazing game against the Giants. They struggled for really what was only about the first quarter before they came back. Their defense really led the way, and then Big Ben got into a groove. That defense alone can carry this Pittsburgh team to the playoffs. And if their offense could flow a little bit, they might be one of those unstoppable teams. Jaguars at Titans. I'm going to go Titans. I know the Jaguars came out with an upset last week. Gardner Minshew looked like what Baker Mayfield was supposed to look like at this point in their careers. But the Titans are just a better team. Once again, they were a team that were in the AFC Championship. Although I do think, I'm not sure. It's either because it's a divisional opponent game. They play with each other. They do know each other very well. Same thing with Bengals and Browns, divisional game. I'm still going to go Titans. I really can't see another upset here. I can't. I think they're just more of a sound football team than the Colts are right now. I really can't see an upset here. Chiefs at Chargers. Another divisional game. I'm just going to go Chiefs. Honestly, the Chiefs might go 15-1, 14-2 this year. And this is not one of those games I see them losing. Ravens at Texans. I'm going to go Ravens here. And wow, the Texans are going to start out 0-2. Did not expect that for them. Unfortunate for Deshaun Watson. That man needs to get out of he needs to get out of Houston, man. He will not thrive at Houston. But Ravens at Texans. Ravens are just a straight up better team. Texans, they looked okay week 1, and then they didn't look okay. They started to look really bad. But in this matchup here is just you got the second best, one of the top 3 teams in the AFC going up against a Texans team that really should go 8-8 or something like that, man. Then we got Vikings at Colts. I'm going to go Vikings here. They let me down week 1, but I don't expect them to let me down here. They are going to be an away, but you know, the Colts right now with Phillip Rivers, they don't look too good. Their defense looks okay. The Vikings defense looked okay as well, not as good as I hoped it would. Their offense looked better than I expected it to. These are two teams that are kind of like in limbo right now coming off of week 1, but let's keep it real. Vikings are just a better team, so I expect them to beat the Colts. Same with the 49ers here, not going to spend too much time on it. The Jets looked really bad week 1. Sam Darnold looked really bad week 1. The 49ers actually had a lead against the Cardinals before they blew it. Hopefully they can keep that lead this time and they could keep their run game going. Patriots at Seahawks. This is where the Patriots fall. I don't see them being the Seahawks this year. I still think they're the best team in the AFC East, but after what Russell Wilson did week 1, you know, showing that, hey, everybody's talking about Lamar, everybody's talking about Deshaun, everybody's talking about Patrick Mahomes as possibly being the best quarterback in the NFL. He's like, I've been doing it longer than them, and I've been doing it more consistently than them, man. And this Seahawks team is definitely going to the playoffs. They're definitely, you know, not definitely, but they have a really good chance of winning that NFC West. I mean, if the 49ers continue to perform like they did week 1, they're definitely going to win the NFC West, but I just don't see the Patriots beating them here. Saints at Raiders. Another game that I'm not going to overthink. I'm going to go with Saints, even though I did say week 1 the Raiders were going to win, and that might surprise some people. I do like this Raiders team a lot. That's not to say I think they're going to make the playoffs or anything. I just think they're going to be a better team than what people expect them to be. The Saints came out, and they look like how they usually look, man. They just kept it pushing, bro. They just kept it pushing from what they've been doing for the past 3-4 years. The Saints still the best team in the NFC South. They still have the best defense in that division, still have the best offense in that division, still probably the most well put together and balanced and talented overall team in the entire NFL, and they're showing it. I expect them to march past the Raiders. Giants at Bears. Obviously, I'm going to leave that one blank until my preview video comes out. Hopefully, I can get that one out by Friday afternoon, Friday night. The latest would be Saturday, just because I got to find time to edit that. It's going to take a while if I want to edit it like I did last week, so we're going to leave that for the preview video. Panthers at Buccaneers. It's an interesting one, because these teams might be a little bit more evenly matched than people think, and then you add in the fact it's a divisional game. But I'm going to go with Buccaneers here. Yeah, I'm just gonna screech past and go Buccaneers. The Panthers offense definitely surprised me with how many points they scored last week, but I think the Buccaneers, if it comes down to it, could edge out this game, and of course they're at home. I think Buccaneers are going to allow some fans in the stands. I'm not sure how much. Don't quote me on that. But as far as I know, there's only like 4 or 5 teams in the entire NFL that are not going to allow fans in the stands. And I'm not sure if the Buccaneers were on that list. Either way, this is where kind of talent comes in. Overall, on offense, they got more talent. On defense, I think they got more talent. Offensive coaching-wise, they should have a better coaching on both sides of the ball. Did not show it last week, to be honest with you, but I think this might be a bounce-back game. Maybe Brady bounces back and show that he still got what it takes, and that Buccaneers offense just rolls over the Panthers. But I'm going to go with them here. Falcons at Cowboys. I know I said the Falcons are going to be a better team this year. You know, they're not going to be what they were the past like 2-3 years. They're going to finally bounce back. And then they had a terrible showing last week against the Seahawks. I thought it was going to be closer, and now I do think they're going to lose to the Cowboys this week. I do think they're going to lose to the Cowboys this week. I still believe in the Falcons, but an 0-2 start, you know, historically teams that start 0-2, they don't really do that much for the rest of the season. So hopefully they prove me wrong here. But if I am going to predict who wins this one, it's going to be Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are just a better team. They had a good amount of mistakes last week, and they had chances to win that game. Of course, a lot of people were talking about the offensive pass interference call. There was a couple offensive pass interference calls week 1 that I was confused about, but the Cowboys should take this one. I think they're a better team than the Falcons, and that's what it comes down to. But it sounds so weird because I have them starting off 0-2, but I still believe they can make some noise in the NFC South there. Rams at Eagles. Rams at Eagles. I have to go Rams. Last week this would have been a way more a way more even matchup than it actually is, because that Eagles offensive line is straight trash. That Eagles offensive line gave up 7 or 8 sacks to the Washington football team defensive line, and while that D-line in Washington is very strong, it is not that strong. All right, I'm gonna say if the Eagles D-line performed at least average, they would have gotten maybe 4 or 5 sacks. Now they're going up against Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and the boys, and I don't really see anything being, anything improving. I completely expect the Rams to have a lot of sacks on the Eagles. I don't know if it's going to be 8 sacks again, but I expect Aaron Donald to wreak havoc. Leonard Floyd in week 1, he did look good. I expect him to get maybe 1 or 2 sacks. I expect the Rams defense, which impressed me last week. They held the Cowboys offense to around 20, I think it was 19 or 20 points or something like that. I do think they're going to get on this Eagles team, and this Eagles team is so depleted, so injury-riddled. I've been saying this since April that they're going to fall because of their injuries. I just don't see them pulling out a win against the Rams here. Lions at Packers. We're going to go Packers. Lions face such a heartbreaking loss week 1, man. DeAndre Swift is probably kicking himself right now. He had a chance to come down with a game-winning touchdown, but guess what? That's the Lions' fault overall. You can't put it on just Swift. They let the Chicago Bears hang around. They let them come back, and they faced a heartbreaking loss. Packers, on the other hand, Aaron Rodgers had a very Aaron Rodgers-esque, like 2016 Aaron Rodgers game where he just straight up, he was the one that won that game for the Packers. It's not like the Packers were playing bad as a team or anything. They were playing good as a team, and then on top of that, he said, I'm just going to show the NFL that I'm still the most talented thrower of football the NFL has ever saw. Went out there, did his thing. He looked like a monster. I don't know if he could keep that up for 16 games, but he certainly proved me wrong. And I mean, it's always great when you see Aaron Rodgers playing like that. So I don't really see the Lions standing a chance against the Packers here. And then we got the football team against the Cardinals. I'm going to go with Cardinals. The football team did impress me, but especially on their defensive side of things. I think the Cardinals have a better offensive line than the Eagles at this point, which is surprising for me to say because I was not confident in the Cardinals' offensive line, but there's no way they have a worse one than the way the Eagles performed last week. And I do know for a fact the Cardinals have a better offense than the football team. So if anything, I expect them to put up more points than the Eagles. And their defense impressed me last week by holding that 49ers team down. So I think they should come out with a win here. But that's my peaks. That's my picks for week 2. Let me know what you guys all think. Let me know what your records were last week for your picks. Anything you disagree with here, anything you agree with. I would especially like the 3 matches that I'm looking at that I'm very interested to see how it plays out. Rams at Eagles, because if the Eagles go down 0-2, I think that's a sign for the rest of the season. I'm very interested to also see football team at Cardinals. I know I picked 2 NFC East matchups here, but kind of the same thing. I want to see if the football team, if that first win against the Eagles was really more so of the Eagles or was it more so of them. And then the final game that I'm going to keep my eye on that I want to see, I want to look at would be which one am I picking here? I'm kind of tied between Patriots Seahawks because Cam Newton versus Russell Wilson is definitely going to be a storyline headed into there, and then Ravens Texans because I want to see if Deshaun could pull out something or if they're going to go 0-2 as well. So really between those two. But put your thoughts down below once again. That's it for now. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.